Yeah.
We
Rest in
also
peace.
saw a lot of we've also seen a lot of gross mismanagement from larger schools, namely like Colorado, for a very long time. At one
Hmm.
point, they were never really a height of college football, but they did definitely have a few years there. Now you get
90s.
they were fine for a couple of years there, Sean. I know you don't
Yeah.
watch a lot of
In
college
their
football,
long
but
history of having football there.
No, dude, I think they were decent in the
Kansas.
90s, right? Like a couple of
Yeah.
years in the 90s. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they've
Any
been
other time?
grossly mismanaged. They've been grossly mismanaged since then, Sean, is where I was getting to.
Yeah.
And now you've got Prime as the head coach, and they still haven't done very well. But now they're retiring their first two numbers, which is very odd. Like in all of football, you have so many players and you only have so many numbers. Now you're going to start retiring numbers, and I think that's one problem on its own. Is like you look at the Kansas City Chiefs or many other NFL teams, they don't really retire numbers; they just retire names. And now you've got two numbers being retired for. It makes sense with Travis Hunter, I would say, for the
Oh,
most
Yeah.
part.
complete sense. Complete
Agreed.
sense. He's the best
He's
college football player in the past year.
he's the best college football
You
player
watch
in the
yourself, Sean.
history of
You watch
Colorado.
yourself.
Okay, he's won the Heisman. He's done a lot of things there. Doesn't really make a lot of sense for Shadur Sanders, but what do you make
Yeah.
of this whole situation as Colorado is now coming into the Big 12 as well?
Before he fucking answers, like you retire jerseys years after people have
That
retired
too.
or left your
Yes.
institution. Why the fuck are we
Not
doing
a
this
semester.
right after they've left? Like they
Same,
haven't
like,
even
It's
gone to
that
the
that
NFL, dude. Like
following spring semester.
bro,
Yeah.
they could ruin, like, they could, I don't want it to, but like Travis Hunter could, like, ruin his image completely tomorrow if he wanted to, right? It's the same idea as like statues. You don't build statues of people who are still alive because you're
Right.
gonna end up taking them down. Uh,
Yeah.
Joe
Yeah.
Paterno.
Yeah. Yeah, golly.
Answer that
uh,
question, Alex. Now.
also,
I mean,
I when you brought up the Pac-12, I jokingly wanted to say, is there anybody even left in the Pac-12? And I didn't want to sound uninformed, so I just looked it up. There's two fucking teams in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that's fucking
they're
crazy.
the Pac-12
building back
championship
better.
happened in like week 8.
Yep. They're building back better. They're getting
Mhm.
UNLV and Boise State and I think Wyoming too involved. So
Yeah, like we're taking the best of the Mountain West, and then I thought Air Force would have been a shoe-in for the Pac-12, but
you would think, but
yeah,
yeah,
again,
alas.
mismanagement, Pac-12.
Yeah,
Pac-2. Let's call it what it is.
yeah. That's what happens when you don't get any sleep. Pac-12 after dark. But at any rate,
RIP.
yeah, the whole thing with Colorado retiring Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders. Travis Hunter is a Heisman winner. I agree with that. But retiring two numbers that went 13 and 12 overall at your school is like is like building a statue for Lance Leipold at Kansas right now. I I agree that they did good things for the university to a degree. I mean, bringing a Heisman to your alma mater is an amazing feeling, I'm sure, and it brings a lot of great memories back about Rashad Salam and Cordell Stewart and those Colorado teams in the '90s. But it was one year, and it was one halfway decent year where you didn't even win your bowl game. You got shut out of the you got shut out of the college football playoff by Kansas, and you just, for all the hype that you got in preseason, you didn't really put up. I mean, and I don't know. It I think there's definitely some nepotism going on when it comes to all that. And like Tommy said, you don't build statues of people that are alive. I mean, who knows what Travis Hunter can do, um, what Travis Hunter will do, uh, on or off the field that could potentially jeopardize his reputation. So, I mean, what he's already done kind of speaks for what he could potentially do. So
I just
On
want
that, on
everybody
that,
to be on the lookout, though, real quick. On the lookout. Next year, they're going to retire Shallow Sanders' numbers. So just putting that out there.
whole family up there.
going to be the best undrafted free agent.
They're gonna rename it Sanders
Of course,
University. Like,
do
Yeah,
trust me.
Sanders, you.
yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel about Travis Hunter going into the NFL as like a kind of a segue? With that,
So
like, what do you think
his
his
whole
future looks
thing
like?
about refusing to play one or the other is absolutely ridiculous. I think that's going to put off a lot of scouts. That's going to put off a lot of GMs
Hmm.
because a lot of teams were looking at him for one or the other because there's only a few teams that need both. Now, Giants, Browns, they need both. But, talking about teams that really don't need him to play both because there's way more risk of an injury completely derailing your career, I think, in the NFL. And it's a much faster game. It's not necessarily completely different, but it is different. And I think the sooner Travis realizes that, the better. And I think arrogance is getting the best of both him and of Shadur Sanders because I feel like Shadur Sanders has basically talked himself out of a top 10 pick
The first
because
round. I think the first round.
yeah,
Oh, somebody will
maybe
get him.
The Giants.
and I just
Steelers.
with the way those two talk, with the way those two present themselves, uh, it's it's hard for me to see what they have done to earn getting their numbers retired, to earn even the Heisman. I thought Genty earned the Heisman over Hunter personally. That's who I
Whoa,
voted
whoa,
for.
Go ahead,
whoa,
Sean.
So
Yeah, let's hear it,
whoa.
Sean.
Travis
Sean hates
Hunter
that.
played both ways. Look at this guy. He is going to be the Shohei Ohtani of the National Football League. The way I'm seeing it now is he will
mm,
be severely injured one way and end up playing one position only. But that's who he is right now.
okay.
Do you
Definitely
do you
didn't
think
deserve
do you
the best wide receiver in the country. Like, that was a sham.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no,
and
that's
that was it.
absolutely
Yeah,
ridiculous.
he was an average corner and he was an above average wide receiver at the end of the day. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, he was just doing
Really?
it
Agree.
all.
I
I,
had that
I think
flip-flopped.
Nick Nass absolutely should have wanted Biletnikoff, Ember Burden.
Yes, I
Yeah.
totally agree. Now, like, do you think whoever drafts Travis Hunter, will they just be like, look, you're gonna play corner for us. We don't really give a shit what you feel like. We don't care what you want to do. You're gonna play corner for us.
Uh,
After watching
I,
his routes, he should definitely only play fucking corner.
yeah.
Whoa.
It's not great combine tape, that's for sure. Not great pro day tape.
Looks
But
it makes me want to puke, dude.
yeah, it's I think the team that drafts him is going to make him decide one way or another. And you know what? If he retires from football to do full-time streaming, so be it. He'll be the first Heisman winner to do that ever. Uh,
History.
yeah, making history like he wanted to.
Trailblazer.
But I mean, he has to understand that while the college football that he played was player dominated, that's not the case anymore in the NFL. You go where the money is, and you go where people pay you the most, and you listen to the people that pay you the most, is essentially how the NFL works. And again, sooner he learns that, the better. But who knows if he'll even get around to learning that
I
because
Ryan Clark had a take um, that was essentially saying if you're not selecting him to go both ways and like be two players for you, there's no reason to take him top three, top 10.
Oh,
If
come
you're
on.
going
He's a
to if
top
you're
five
going
pick.
I
to make
agree.
him play one side of the ball, like if you're going to make him play corner or you're going to make him play wide receiver, he doesn't have the impact to be a top 5 pick. He's not gonna be that guy for you just
Now,
playing one side of the ball.
you could say that, but what if he shines on one side of the ball only because he's playing a lot less snaps?
I hope he does. I really hope he does.
Yeah,
He
Like,
will.
yeah,
He will. It's Travis Hunter, Heisman winner.
yeah. off of snap count.
Well, the whole thing, dude, the whole thing is like it's the NFL. You're gonna waste like that's like I mean, I see it how it's like, oh, we don't have to use two players, like that's one extra roster spot. But also like if you get to week 5 because he's played every snap of the season and now he's useless, like that now you're technically down two positions and you only have one roster spot to fill. So I think that's a huge like NFL to college football like difference that he I think he just like you said, Alex, he's just unaware of. He's gonna have to figure that
Yeah,
out. And
it's
that's the
yeah,
business.
completely different
I would
speed.
I would even say this, like you're talking about week 5. Let's look at the talent comparison versus what he was facing in college. And then also on top of that, the talent that they were facing just on his schedule, because it was clearly far less talent than you would see against Big Ten or SEC competition. Go and look at the game against who's it, Stanford, where he got mossed like 4 times. Now, granted, that
Don't know
receiver
what you're
that he
talking
was
about.
going up
Oh,
against,
Kyle Maner's a pretty good receiver. Yeah,
he's a good receiver, but he also had over a 20% drop rate.
yeah,
And
that's
in
also
in that game alone, he got mossed. What was it, 4 times? The game winner on top of him as well. So he's going to be facing better competition than that, and that's late in the game. If you're going to be playing both ways, you've got what 100 snaps underneath your belt, and you're trying to win a game in week 2, week 5, week 15, and you're just compounding those snaps over time. He's just going to get beat up by elite talent. You think AJ Brown isn't just going to go up and moss him 17 times a game? It's going to happen
No,
when he's tired.
never.
So, like, I do think there's going to be a coach or just an organization that's kind of gullible enough to let him play both ways. Like,
Browns.
I think the one out of the 32 teams that really need some talent. I do think he's going to be able to play both ways. But like
yep.
best case scenario, he's going to have to perform at like second on the depth chart of each of those positions. He's not going to be a primary number one receiver. He's not going to be your best corner on the team. And I think defensive if he's playing both ways defensively, like the way the Chiefs do our base sets and like McDuffie it's clearly our best corner and plays outside a lot of the times, but when they go to a certain nickel package, he plays the slot. So when that slide happens, he goes to the outside spot and let the better corner that performs really well in the slot play that position. So like limited snaps on defense and still like being a number 2 wide receiver on offense. Like I feel like that's best case scenario because I there's no chance in hell he plays number 1 corner and number 1 wide receiver on any team in the NFL. Like that's not gonna fucking happen.
You guys keep forgetting
No.
we're talking about future offensive and rookie and defensive rookie of the year, Travis Hunter here,
Shut
folks.
the fuck up, John. You
God,
don't believe that.
God
You don't
fucking
believe
damn.
100%
that.
believe it. I have faith in
Can't.
Travis Hunter here.
Hey, dude, I hope he does. Like, I really hope he does. I just don't see it happening, right? It's not like I'm rooting against the kid actively.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything heinous that I would like hate him for. He's just a little arrogant, like, and his Heisman is kind of a Mickey Mouse Heisman.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Send him to the Dodgers, hanging out with Mickey Mouse winners.
Yeah, gosh.
Oh man.
Yeah, maybe his manager is using his DraftKings account to pay for whatever. Just
It
like
was
That's
never
why
Shohei.
he's
proven.
the
It
Shohei
was
No.
never
Ohtani of
proven
football.
that Shohei Ohtani was doing that. And then he won a World Series. So, bada
There you
bing.
go.
Mickey Mouse ring.
Yeah.
I do have a